everybody, this is Tanner, and before Brett and I go pick up Beth, we thought maybe we'd try these new at-home test kits for COVID-19. So 2 come in every box. They are available at LiveWell's distribution. That'll be this Friday, and I just want to see how easy it would be. So I'm going to give myself a COVID test. Now, we wait. Looking like I'm a negative. Both negative. So let's go pick her up. Let's go. For this week's Around the Block, we've got Beth Koksal. She's the Director of Community Health for Finney County Health Coalition.
That's right.
And today we're driving a 2018 Buick Enclave Premium. We bring out the best for you.
I feel like you guys might be trying to sell me a new car too.
I'm not going to say no, but maybe.
Okay.
So thanks for coming.
Yep.
We're doing the elbow bump, so let's go. Beth, welcome.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
There's some confusion sometimes with the name of your organization. Finney County Health Coalition, LiveWell Finney County. People sometimes maybe even wonder if they're 2 different things. You probably get that. So kind of take us through that and tell us, what is LiveWell Finney County or Finney County Health Coalition? What's your role? Tell us all that.
Okay, so Finney County Community Health Coalition is an actual 501c3 organization on its own. We've been in existence for about 20 years. A couple of years or so ago, it kind of got really cool to start throwing out LiveWell in front of your county to just kind of make things a little bit more known. And honestly, it's way easier to say LiveWell Finney County than it is to say Finney County Community Health Coalition. We are the same thing, and it does get confusing a lot of times, but at the end of the day, what we do is bring together a lot of service organizations in our community to work together and make our community a healthier and safer place to live through collaboration.
Okay, well, and you're right, it is snappier, it sounds cool, so we're going to say LiveWell.
That's fine.
All right.
I'll answer to that.
All right.
So in kind of touching on that, so promoting and striving for a community, for a healthy community is kind of what your guys' primary focus is. So talk about what your current top priorities are.
Okay, so we also manage quite a few different grants on our own. So right now, obviously, just like everywhere else in the world, COVID-19 crisis is a big deal in our office too. So we're really working on encouraging testing throughout the community. Some other hot topics that are problems for our community right now are the opioid crisis or the opioid epidemic. So we're working on that. We're always working off of what's called our community health needs assessment, and it's just an assessment of our community that we do every 3 years that kind of helps guide what our work does, what we focus around.
In your role as community health director, what do you do specifically?
I do a lot of grant reporting, and I do a lot of data management. I do more communications than you'd think. When you're looking at communications, if you just Google COVID-19 vaccines, for example, you have to kind of to dig your way through what is a credible source and what's not a credible source. So I'm always looking for those credible sources that write things that's easy for all of us to understand too. So we really are trying to get out there and promote health to people so that they understand why we're doing this and what we're doing it for.
So when you're not doing that very important job, what are some of the things that you like to do in your spare time? I mean, we kind of understand that you like to travel.
Like I said, I like traveling, but first and foremost, I have a 17-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter. So a lot of my traveling is spent driving them around to places where they need to go. So I'm an unpaid Uber driver. I like to call myself that. Right now, this summer, my big priority has been killing weeds in my lawn and mowing my grass.
Oh. Is this a fun hobby or just a necessity?
It started off as trying a way to get my steps in, and it was really easy. But now my end of summer goal is to get the lawn to where you have the crisscross pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so this is like, do you do it like twice a week? Or are you a twice a week
I'm a
mower?
twice a week mower, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Dad's a twice a week mower.
Oh, my
Can
goodness.
he get the pattern?
Oh, yeah, he's psycho.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, now I know who I'm going to ask about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's kind of, my kids tell me I'm a little obsessed with that.
Speaking of obsession, mental health.
Yes.
So you did mention that mental health is a huge priority amongst everybody in Southwest Kansas. Probably one of the most under addressed issues we face out here. Talk about some of the things that you do as an organization to address mental health needs out here.
So one of the big things that we do is we teach a class that's called mental health first aid. So just like regular first aid, it kind of teaches you enough to be what I always call dangerous. We don't teach you to be a therapist, but just like in regular first aid, you're not really taught to be a heart surgeon either. But really, it kind of teaches you some tactics for just kind of talking to people and finding out more about what's going on in their lives and helping them intervene or find help if they need to. So we teach that class to quite a few different organizations here in Garden City. And it's about an 8-hour class. And
Oh, wow.
it's really worthwhile though too. I mean, I use it a lot of times. I use it on people just as a way to say, hey, something seems not right with you today. Are you doing okay? Is there something you want to talk about?
Mm-hmm. And what's the importance of having more people out there who have a grasp of this and how to approach it?
Well, we're driving around Garden City right now, and I'm not seeing mental health services on every single block. So here in Southwest Kansas, we don't have a lot of resources for that. So when we're all kind of trained, we all do better. So we all know what different options are, and just really talking to somebody saying, hey, I think we might need to get help with you for something, and here's some places we can go. And making that easier to have that conversation, because it's not something that we like talking about. It makes us uncomfortable to talk about mental health, and it makes us uncomfortable to say, hey, are you doing okay?
Right.
It's not our first reaction to do that.
Well, and not everybody feels comfortable seeking help, right?
Exactly.
So having more help just kind of out there naturally, if you will, is a good thing.
Yes, and like I said, when people have mental health crises, it's completely different than when they have a physical health crisis. When somebody has a physical health crisis, our first tendency is to rally around that person and their family. But when you're having a mental health crisis, or your family member is, our first natural reaction is to say, oh, I don't want to talk to that person until,
Give them space.
until they come back or
Yeah.
until they get better.
Yeah.
I don't want to acknowledge it because it might make them feel uncomfortable and it might make me feel uncomfortable. So just kind of breaking down those stigmas to say, hey, it's okay to say, are you doing okay? Or it's okay to say, do you need some help with something? Just letting people know that mental health is something that's okay for us to talk about.
Yeah. We like to ask our guests for, like a little known fact or something maybe about their, maybe a character trait that people don't know about them, but you give us nothing.
I know.
You gave us absolutely nothing.
Right,
You say
an
that
open book.
you're an open book. Really?
Yes. What is there? I mean, I just told you I mow my lawn 2 days a week. I really can't have much of a life if I have time to mow my lawn 2 times a week. Right?
Well, I guess so.
She kind of turned that one around on me.
Yeah, she kind of did.
That was some judo.
Yeah, well done.
So, if question evasion is one
Okay.
character trait, which is
Yes,
We'll go
question
with that.
evasion. So does it ever get you in trouble, though, that you're an open book? Does that ever get you in trouble?
All the time.
Well, how so? Like, give me an example.
Well, I have a lack of filter then, too.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good character trait. Let's keep going.
Not only am I an open book, but what I think about you is also an open book.
Oh!
Well, here's one thing we do know. We
Okay.
do know that you love to cook. You love to cook, and Lily likes to cook, and that you like variety. So what are you cooking currently? my fear. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said.
But now, and I've gotten to, obviously I can make sesame chicken about once a week in the Instapot. So far nothing's been like horrible, and it hasn't exploded. The sesame chicken does have an extreme amount of garlic in it, so I think it kind of, the lid smells weird after I make it.
Well, that's all you make in it though, right? For your son, so it's all good.
Okay, let me ask you this then. When you're pushing the quick release button, how do you do it?
No, I don't have the
okay.
Instapot because number one, I don't look. My grandma once told me about how she had a pressure cooker explode and it like busted up the whole range. And so I've always been scared of pressure cookers. So I don't do it. I just do the straight up crock pot, old school.
Okay, so COVID.
Yeah.
You've gone pretty far into this interview without talking about it, but we would be remiss to not talk a little bit about it. So, what is LiveWell Finney County's focus right now with COVID? Is it the rapid tests that folks can take home? Is it making sure that the community has masks where needed? Is it encouraging people who are interested in getting the vaccine, letting them know where they can get it? What's the focus right now?
So right now, our big focus for our grant is on testing, but our focus inside of our office is meeting different community members at where they are and kind of coordinating the efforts of all of the different organizations that are working on this to make sure we're all on the same page.
Right.
Because it's easy to silo yourself up in your health department silo, in your Genesis silo, in your hospital silo, and not know what the other organizations are doing. So we really try and talk about that between all of those organizations and try and find the best ways where we can all work together too.
Okay.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned meeting people where they are. I think that's such an important piece of this conversation.
Yes. So with that, so like vaccines are not for everybody. Not everybody feels comfortable taking a vaccine right now. So what are the different options to help keep people who don't feel that vaccines are an option for them? And that's where testing comes into play real easy. It's easy, it's convenient, and we have options right now where you can do it from your own home or from your office or from a car if you wanted to.
You say that you've got an event coming up, right?
So we're going to be giving out masks and saliva-based test kits on Friday. Can't remember the date of Friday, but it will be from 9 to 11, and we're going to do that in the Horseshoe parking lot of the hospital. So the test kits that we're giving out are PCR-based test kits where you'll essentially use spit in a little cup, and then you drop it off in a FedEx box after you've registered your kit. And about 24 hours after pickup, you'll get your test results texted back to you.
Simple enough.
Yes, really simple.
We've talked about COVID. We've talked about mental health. The third issue that we wanted to talk about was the opioid crisis.
Yes.
And misuse of prescription drugs in general, which is a huge issue. What are you guys doing to address that?
Okay, so right now one of the scary things that's going around Finney County and going around Kansas and going around the United States is fentanyl. And it's a synthetic opioid. A lot of times fentanyl is being put into different drugs without users' knowledge of it even the smallest amount, like a little bit smaller than a penny, much smaller than a penny, like grains of salt even, can be deadly. So we're really wanting to talk about the dangers around using drugs, specifically drugs that you didn't get at a pharmacy, that weren't prescribed to you by a doctor, and not knowing what's in them. The police department has done a great job of letting our community know when drugs are going around and showing what, for example, a real hydrocodone looks like next to a fake one. We were talking about overdose, how to prevent overdose. We talk a lot about Narcan in our office right now, and it's a drug that is a prescription drug, but right now in Kansas there is a blanket prescription for Narcan, so anyone can go to a pharmacy and request it. What it does is it's given after an overdose, and it kind of knocks that opioid off the opioid receptor in a person's brain and can essentially stop an overdose from happening. trainings through a partner called DECA. And if you follow our Facebook page, we share those opportunities for learning more about Narcan. So we really want people to, again, like we talked about with mental health, talk about the dangers of fentanyl, because it's out there. And for a lot of people, it only takes one time using it, and that one time is one time too many.
You mentioned that, kids particularly, this can be an issue. How are you? What steps can we take to get them out of our house?
Okay, so here in Finney County, we have 3 what we call prescription drug boxes or med-safe boxes, or it's like a mailbox where you can just go and drop your prescription medications off in. My favorite one to use is at the hospital in the emergency room. It's just kind of in the foyer next to the Pepsi machine, and I like to use it because you don't have to walk up any steps to get to it. And it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't even have to park your car. I usually leave my car running, and I hop out and go and drop my pills in the box, and then they're disposed of safely. You can do this for prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, expired medications. We ask that syringes not go in there. Patches can go in, liquids.
Okay.
The other thing that we don't want thrown in it is like if you find a vape pen or a vape stick,
Yes.
you don't want the batteries to explode in there.
Okay. What's been the most rewarding thing, or what is the most rewarding thing about your job with LiveWell, and what's the most challenging?
So the parts that I love most about my job are when I get to go and help our community partners with different events that they're having, or different things that they do every day that they need volunteer help for, like food pantry distribution, or going and handing out water to individuals that are in need of water. Things like that are probably the most rewarding things. Also, just getting to meet different people from all different areas of our community. We had a vaccine event at 305 West Mary one day, and while we were vaccinating individuals that wanted to be vaccinated, some lady was in her apartment slaving away cooking all this food, and when we were packing up, she just brought out trays of food for us. So that was really,
Her way of
really
saying thank you.
rewarding to have that, and have people say thank you for the work you do.
Yeah.
The things I don't like grant reporting. It's not fun.
Because it's challenging.
It is challenging, and if you ask my daughter, she'd say all you ever do is plan things, and you don't ever do them. And I'm like, I do them. It does take a lot of work of planning to go into these events that you do see.
Sure. I understand that you have a little bit of a sweet tooth for a certain drink at Sonic.
I usually get a large Diet Coke.
A large Diet Coke.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get you a large Diet
Oh,
Coke.
thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Beth.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And
Thanks for the Diet
yeah,
Coke.
enjoy your Diet Coke. Good luck with the distribution on Friday here at
Yes.
the hospital.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys are welcome to come by if you want some more. I'll call you guys later about an offer on the car, too.
Okay.
Yes!
Meet Western Motor. We've been family owned and operated for 80 years, which means we know a thing or two about getting you into the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle. And if it ever needs service, our team of certified technicians are here. Shop our inventory at westernmotor.com.